Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast. Welcome back, P. We got a special one tonight. We got a legend in the building.
Yeah, we got another legend, man. We listen. We've been blessed with a lot of legends, man.
Yeah, a lot of hoopers from the city of Boston, from the Boston area, man. I bet you
that put in work, dude. That put in work. Not no slouches. Not these cats put in work, man.
Big work, man. A lot of them, have traveled around the world, around the country, played at some of the most amazing colleges and universities, man. But right now, before we get into it, I want everyone to lock in with us. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Talk Your Sports Podcast, wherever you listen to your podcast, Anchor, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Lock in with us, man. We got some amazing journeys, and we're gonna continue rocking out. P, let's get into it, man. Yeah, I mean, we got our brother. I mean, our Boston native hoop legend. Yeah, I mean, just a monster on the boards. Yeah, I mean, a spectacular coach coming up in the ranks. We got our brother, our HBCU alum, Anthony Searcy, man. What up, big dog?
What's going on? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
First off, let me just say, like, I'm loving what you guys are doing with this podcast. You guys are bringing in some great people, having some great conversations. Just keep it up.
Yeah, we appreciate the love, big dog.
We appreciate it, man.
And I'm just mind blown, like, because I'm pretty sure you guys are Boston sports fans. I'm a huge Boston sports fan. So when I posted that I would be doing this conversation with you guys, sitting down on this podcast, 4 people wrote under the message, under the post first. It was Mitchell Hercules.
Mitch, yep.
Anthony Davis.
Okay.
Mike McGee and Dwayne Cox.
Let's get it.
So if you know anything about, like, as far as them as they're playing, how they played, and for them to, like, acknowledge me and know who I am, it's crazy, because I grew up watching those dudes thinking I would never be as good as, like, them dudes, like being on the same court as Anthony Davis, Mike McGee, and Dwayne Cox. Those dudes were a problem back in the day. So
yeah, man,
salute to them boys, man.
But man, don't know. Listen, man, you here for a reason. Like I said, man, you put in work. You put in work. I remember the days when you was at Madison, and obviously you going against Charlestown, a juggernaut team. And at the time, I'm sitting in the sideline. I was like, "Who's this cat just not backing down?" You know what I mean? To me, I was like, "That's the only dog on that team." If they had 4 others, it would have been a great game. But you held your own, man, and that's why we excited to have you on this podcast, man.
Yeah, and those games against Charlestown, I felt like I had to step up those games. Even like they were so big of a juggernaut, like you said, that I remember the first game. I think it was probably like my freshman or my sophomore year, when we played them probably like 4 times in one year. We played them once in the Haverhill tournament. Then we played them like twice during the season, and that was the team where it was like Richard Jones, Mouse, like all those older heads that were like transitioning out, that were like Keywan Crump. Those dudes were like animals. And then they still had the squad going in when they had Rashid Al-Khalim. I remember the first game against Rashid Al-Khalim. I think he had just signed to go to Florida, and the first play of the game, he tried to go baseline and dunk on me, and I promise you, I was like, I cannot let this dude dunk on me in front of all these people. I was like, I cannot let this dude dunk on me, all these people. And everybody thought the dunk was he was just gonna dunk on me, and so everybody just stood up. But when
is this at Charlestown or Madison?
It's at Charlestown.
Okay.
It was at Charlestown. When I like pinned it against the backboard, like, and just saw everybody just go crazy, I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna have a good game tonight.
Yeah, that's how you set the tone. That's how you set the tone, man.
But man, I just want you to let the people know where your sports journey started and how your sports journey started.
Well, of course, my name is Anthony Searcy, but everybody knows me as Eggy. I got that name probably I was 6 years old. Just being a Shelburne kid, hanging out at the Shelburne. I believe, I want to say the triplets, Robbie, Rashad, and Rasheen. They gave me that name along with their uncle OJ. They started with that name, and it just lasted pretty much my whole life. People still call me to this day. But as far as basketball, it was a long time before I got into basketball. I started off, my uncle was a huge baseball fan. So he would sit there and watch baseball. I would watch baseball with him. And I started playing baseball first. So I started when I played in the Red Sox rookie league out in Washington Park, I just started playing baseball and I got better and better. And next thing you know, like, I think I was like 12, 13 years old, and I was hitting the ball from home plate to the Shelburne, like in flight, like in the air. And people were looking at me like, this kid's gonna be like a monster baseball player.
Right.
But just hanging out at the Shelburne had different mentors, whether it was like Michelle Edwards coming through, the great Alfreda Harris, Sherry Cope, Warren Chase, at the time, Fred Allen. And they had Jesse Martin. Jesse Martin was a high school phenom in his own era in Boston. He ended up going to University of Maryland. And he just saw me one day. Was like, what do you think about basketball? And I really never thought about playing basketball. Of course, I seen it on TV. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be jumping like Michael Jordan or anything like that. So me just like not like really knowing too much about basketball, I was like, sure, I'll give it a try. And from that day on, I fell in love with the sport, and I just started working harder and harder, trying to get better.
Liddy. So I know you fell in love with the sport and then, but was there another point in your life where it's like, all right, like wherever you were playing at, when you decided, okay, this is the sport I want to be great in, and like, how did you go about doing that?
I would say just because I live right across the street in St. Joseph Housing Community, right across the street from Washington Park. So just going to the park during the summers, seeing the X League, seeing how much talent was in that league. I remember one time Lamar Odom and Paul Pierce came and played in the X League one time. It was just so much talent that was older than me that I really like didn't process at the time. But I was like, yeah, watching these dudes and watching like the crowd of people standing around the courts, I was like, yeah, this is what I want right here. This is what I want. So going about
that's
it,
different. Yeah, like that's different when you see like the big homies doing it, and like I know you said you were really tall as a kid, so I know you was like as you was playing up, like it was like, all right, cool. Like if I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, and it was hard because like I had to go up against like Dave Shaws of the world, the Jamal Booths, Raheem Lambs, and they looked at me like fool, like, oh yeah, this dude's tall, goofy looking. Let's get this dude up out of here.
So mismatch.
It's like, let's get this dude up out of here. And then like, growing up in Boston, like it's hard. Everybody's hard on you. Like I kept on getting like, you're big for nothing, you're soft. And from like when I started hearing that, I wanted to prove those same doubters wrong. So I would like everybody be like out. You see me out shooting at Washington Park, but like early in the day, I was in the gym working out. And I remember as of like playing so young on varsity at Madison Park, like Ryan Harrell, Cricket, all those dudes. I was too young to hang out with them dudes. So like Brandon Odom is Cricket's younger brother. Ron Odom Jr.'s little brother. So he would come to the games, and we connected. So he was going to Thayer Academy at the time. So like he would bring me up to go work out with like him, Mike Jones, Jamal Dixon, and just seeing how hard and how hungry they were, it rubbed off on me because I knew like I got putting all this work in. I got to translate to like the court now. I can't just be still getting like house down low in the post, and I'm still lifting all these weights. So I got to put that muscle in.
Yeah.
So
you definitely can't be no mouse in the house.
Mouse,
exactly. Yeah.
So how was the competition growing up? I mean, you mentioned you played against Rashid and all that, but growing up, how was that competition from your high school years and throughout from high school, your freshman year all the way to your senior year?
Playing up always, it made me like think the game better. It made me learn so much more. It made me help me learn how to use my big frame, how to box out, and just be smart on the floor. So when I would go to play with kids my age, and of course, like at the time, I don't think there was anybody like over 6'5" in the Boston City League. So playing against them, it was just like I don't even see nobody. Yeah, it was just I don't even see nobody out there. It's like I'll grab my rebounds, block my shots, and Coach Wilson always had had a nickname for me. He used to call me SWAT because I used to have like 5-6 blocks a game. And so like, just like you said earlier, when I played against Charlestown, you seen how hard I played against them because I knew that that's going to be the game I had to play up for. And not only you saw that, but like the guys on the team, like the Tony Lees, the Darryl Lodges, all those guys recognized how hard I work. And when it came to playing outside of high school, I ended up playing for the Mighty Mission team and playing with like Will Blaylock, Stevie Haley. That came with a different expectation because I would get the ball and lay the ball up. They'd be like, "We don't lay the ball up here. Everything's dunking. You got to dunk everything." Especially Tony Lee. Tony Lee was definitely on me. And Tony Lee was like, "If you're gonna be with us, you're gonna have to play harder than that." He held everybody accountable that was on the team. Like everybody that was talented, even Will Blaylock, he held accountable. So Tony Lee definitely, and playing with Mission basketball throughout the summers and springs and stuff like that, it helped me my confidence. It built my confidence up like crazy. That means I was just going dunking everything after that point because it was like we're the big dogs on the block. So I gotta like meet them at the place. I gotta feed that same energy that they're feeding. So it was no way I could slouch around them because they'll be on my ass.
Right, because you playing alongside, because that Mission team was loaded. I mean, I think that's like the cheat code. That's like the Golden State of Boston. You know what I mean? But I mean, I love that you said that it put that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? Put that dog in you because these guys, you said that the Stevie Haley, he's a dog. He played D1, played for BC. We all know Will Blaylock. He was a legend in Boston. Tony Lee himself, and it's like when you play amongst greatness, it lifts your game up to that same expectation, and that's dope that you got to experience that playing with that Mission team.
Yeah, and we went 3 summers or 3 years without losing a game. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like,
talk about it. I want to know. I want to know.
Three summers.
I want to know.
3 summers.
3 summers.
It was crazy. I'm talking about it doesn't matter what league it was. Yeah. We won all of them. I don't know. It was Tony Bly. It was so many. Whatever league that was going on, we won all of them. It was. I got a room full of trophies to prove them.
All right. So, I need to know. We need to know right now. I need that one person who you gave work to, and who bust your ass. I need those two. I need those 2 things. Who those 3 summers when you was coming up in your athletic prime, you know what I mean, getting buckets, playing some good D. Whose ass you bust? It's all right. You can say his name. It's all right. We all family on here.
No, I mean, I know you're looking for I know you're looking for a name. Like, it's so crazy.
Name, team, like, whoever.
So like back then, right? In that era, in our era of basketball, we didn't care who we played against. We didn't even know who they were. We didn't care to know who they were. So if we took it as if you stepped on the court with us, it's disrespect. So like we're gonna treat you like food all day. Like that's how it was. So like for me to like point out a name as to like who I killed, I can't like really name anybody. But whoever just played basketball during that era, I'm pretty sure you either got house down low, dunked on, whatever. So, but as far as who killed me, I definitely can name a few that definitely got me. I know Dave Shaw. Dave Shaw killed me. Like Dave Shaw was a monster. Yeah. Dave Shaw was 6'7", lanky. He definitely punished me and gave me my licks.
How did he do it though? How did he do it? Were you at your best at this time, or were you still developing? Because I was still
developing.
So that shit don't count. Yeah, I mean, come on, OG, that shit don't count. You gotta tell that dude.
I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah, and like those moments like helped shape me because it gave me a reason. Like next time I played against them, like I can go right back at them because I can name a time where I did end up dunking on Shaw in the Bailey League off the miss. I don't know, like this is
talk about it. Talk about it. Off the miss, caught a body.
I caught Jamal Booth baseline in the Chill Will tournament. I dunked on him and one baseline. I definitely caught Booby. Booby caught a body.
The legendary Booby?
Yes. Booby and Booby.
He caught the work?
It was funny because
he got that work?
What it was that everybody thought I was a 2-foot jumper. So I forget what time, I think it was the X League up at Washington Park. Anthony Davis got the ball in the fast break. He sees me run up ahead of him. He just tosses it to me. And Booby's trying to time my 2-foot jump. But me, I like for some reason I just took off 1 foot and he just jumped and I just dunked it. And the park went crazy.
It was crazy. Washington Park, summer night, everybody was there.
Yes, and it was crazy. It was probably like it was lit. It was lit.
I want to get into playing at Washington Park. I mean, because I played baseball, and the big games for us used to be at Jim Rice under the lights. Everybody's out there. How was it playing under those lights at Washington Park, playing against these, top guys in Boston? Because you played in an era where these dogs were dogs and they were hunting.
They really were. And for me, that was home court for me because I was across the street. When everybody's going home or going back to Mattapan, Dorchester, or other parts of Roxbury, I'm walking across the street. And the next morning, I'm early walking right back across the street, working out. So like all the old heads that be out there, they see me like how much hard work I put in. And they be like, all right, now the lights is on. What you gonna do? And I remember, rest in peace, Dad. Dad used to yell out L2 circle anytime I was on the floor. L2 circle, for those who don't know, if you play 2K on PlayStation or live at the time, those are the alley-oop buttons.
Yep.
So anytime I was on the floor or like anywhere near the rim and the ball was getting thrown up, Dad's screaming L2 circle, and I'm going up and I'm going to go get it. Whoever's under me at the time, you're just on the poster.
You don't feel this pain.
Yeah. You're just on the poster. So just me, like being from the home, like that's my home court. I had to perform no matter what, because they wasn't gonna let me hit the end of it.
Eesh, that's ill. Did you ever feel like it was pressure?
Do I feel like it was pressure? Hey, hell yeah! It's like for me. I always say this because I played at Rucker Park as well. I'm like, that's like the Rucker Park of Boston is like Washington Park at that time. Like if you were, and like I remember when they told me I couldn't even play up there, and for me to actually being able to like finally get on the court, I had to show out. I had to show out every single time. And more so for me, like me showing out was like getting a good block shot or like catching it off the miss and just like being a force on the boards and on defense.
Nah, I felt the same way because we grew up in Lenox and right across the street was Jim Rice. Every time I played at Jim Rice, it was, I have to show up because I can't go across the street back to the neighborhood and everybody like,
definitely
damn,
not.
P, you just went 0 for 3. The guy got you with the curveball. You made an error. You know what I mean? So it was definitely one of those, I got to show up. I have to show up.
Right. Definitely. Because they'd have been on your ass if you didn't.
Yeah, man. We really, I think this next question is more really pivotal, like for the young kids, man. We want to know, like share with us the highs and lows of your basketball journey, and how those moments shaped who you are today.
I'll start with the low because the reason why I would start with the low is because I didn't have the best grades middle school and high school. Like my grades were shitty. Like I wasn't going to class, and being at Madison Park was probably like 2,000 students at that time. It's probably a lot less now, but it was just like so much going on in the hallways, whether it's like a fight here, somebody getting $150 there, like it was crazy. So everybody was just like all the cool kids at the time, like who I felt was cool. Well, we're out in the hallway, so I never went to class, and I didn't really I didn't think I had an opportunity of going to college playing basketball. Like I had nobody like sit me down and really be like, yo, like this is what you have in front of you until like my junior year of high school. And if I'd have had that earlier, no telling where my possibilities could have been. Because I tell the kids now, the kids I coach now, I'm like, all you have to have is good grades.
All right.
Like if you just have like a 3.5 or like a 4.0, like that's gonna take care of itself. They're like, oh, and he plays basketball, he could come play on our team. Like like that's why I try to preach to the kids like academics will take you further than anything else. So you got to get those grades because like if you ain't got no grades, then there's no point of like scoring 30 points, 40 points a game because you're just gonna go to a junior college and you're gonna have to work even harder. And that's where I found, and that's where like playing up as a kid and playing against all these like different talented people, playing around all this talented that build my confidence and made me hungry. Like to play on a junior college level, you have to be that, because you got a dude that's coming in with like his 3 kids and he's like, yo, I gotta eat tonight. I'm trying to get up out the hood. Like, and there's so much more like that goes into playing junior college basketball that people don't know about. These are people that had like 3-4 strikes. Like college coaches said they wouldn't be nothing, and they trying to prove them wrong. This is their bounce back. This right. Like for a lot of people, that's their redemption. Like being on that junior college level, like I'm gonna make it to this next level. And if you ain't got that dog in you to play on that at that junior college level, you'll get ate up, because there's so many people that's trying to feed their families and trying to make their situation different from what than it already is. So my main thing was that with my grades were like, even though I ended up like going to a good junior college, I could have been at a high major Division I school if I'd just had the grades. And I've only played 2 years of high school basketball. For me to go Division I still, just playing 2 years of high school basketball, that in itself says a lot. Right. So if I just had the grades, I'd have been better off. So that's probably the low. But realizing that later on, that looked at as one of my lows. But my highs, I would say just the process becoming a man, like just figuring things out on your own, because my situation was different from a lot of people. Like I was raised by my great grandmother. I wasn't my mom had my older sister when she was 16, had me when she was 18. And the time, like, which I understand wasn't the best move like for her at the time. So she left me with somebody who she felt would look out for me, provide for me, and do what's best for me, which was our grandmother. So it was nobody really on me like that to like, yeah, they wanted me to go to school, but nobody knew how good I was in basketball in my family. That was what's crazy about it. Nobody knew, like, because everybody's old. Like I said, my great grandmother, she was born in 1924. Like she just knew, like, work hard, get your education, get a job. That's how everybody thought of my family. They didn't know how good I was in basketball until like college coaches were coming and sitting in their living room, like, we're trying to offer this kid a scholarship. And they're like, wow, like, because nobody in my family really like went to got an education outside of high school. So they're like, you're gonna give them how much money to go to school for free to do what?
To play basketball?
That's dope. That's dope. Where's your family from originally?
Florida.
Word.
Florida and Boston. Like I think they started in Florida, transitioned to Boston, moved back down, came back. They've just been all over the place.
That's lit. That's lit. So who pulled up to your grandma's? So who's pulling up to the living room? Who came to get you? Who's offering you?
Like I said, because of my grades, so like a bunch of junior colleges at the time. But when Monroe College came, and at the time with like #1 junior college, they said like the New York. She's like New York City, like the commercial. she couldn't believe it. She was just like she was like, are you gonna like make sure he's good? Like they was like, trust me, you know he's gonna be good and stuff like that. So like that was pretty much when it came to like junior college. But as like leaving from junior college, I was pretty much making decisions on my own. So like everything like I would like do would be like come through me. They would come visit me at school. Like I started off at Monroe College, and being at Monroe College, I wanted so much more than what was at Monroe College. Like Monroe College had like, they just had a powerhouse. Like you just had so many talented people that were already good, not like me that wanted to be at their level. So like practice would be just us playing 5-on-5 in front of a bunch of Division I coaches. And I remember one practice, Adam Ginsberg was a Northeastern assistant, and he came all the way. He was like, listen, we want you to come home. He said, I don't care about nobody else here. I want you to come home. And me knowing how I was going to Northeastern parties as a junior in high school. I'm like, right. As much as I love you, Adam, that's the setup for failure right there. I want to get away as far away from home as possible so I can get out there and actually explore everything that's out there, because there's a lot more people don't get to see, like more than Mattapan. More than Dorchester. More
you ain't
than
never lied, big dog.
Right. So like, I wanted to be able to like see everything. I wanted to see like the whole world. Like it was crazy. Like I was taking calls from anybody from West Coast, Northwest, when University of Idaho called me, I was like, that's a little bit too far.
Up in big sky country,
right.
You would have ran. You would have ran into. You would have ran into. What's my guy's name? You would have ran into Dame Little out there. You know what I mean? You didn't want those problems with Dame.
Yeah, listen, I don't care who I ran into, as long as I didn't have to guard him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just transitioning like to the junior college, and then I ended up leaving because the coach that like I said, I wanted more. Like I wanted to be like great. Like it was so much. Like I can't even explain how much better I wanted to be. So I was like, this is not going to get it from me. So I had trusted the coach that was there previously that ended up going to Fashion Institute of Technology, and he became the head coach there, Lance Tejada. Lance Tejada actually coached one of my good friends that was at Monroe College at the time, Garfield Johns, in high school. Garfield Johns was a left-hand Jamaican kid from the Bronx. That boy could go. I mean, he was tough. He averaged like about 30 points a game.
He's one of them ones.
And he ended up going to Utah and playing with like Andrew Bogut. So like that just tells you how tough he is, how tough he was. And he was a sophomore when I was a freshman. And that's the person that I really connected with, but he ended up leaving. So once he left and the assistant coach left, it was really nobody I connected with really. And then at the time, Darryl Lodge was there at the time with me too, but he had some family things going on with his family. So he ended up dipping out. So I really had nobody there that I really connected with. So when Lance Tejada got the job at Fashion Institute of Technology, I was like, where? He's like, Fashion Institute? I was like, sign me up. I'm with you, whatever you're going, coach. And just being there, like, opened my eyes to so much. Like, I mean, you're talking about like designers for the clothes that we're wearing right now, like people that were there at the time that working for like Betsy Johnson, excuse me, was Rockaware at the time, Ralph Lauren. Like these people like really like were studying to become like designers. And at the time when I was there, here's a good story for you right now. I had a homegirl that was on campus, and we would kick it every day, like just chill out on the quad, whether it's the cafeteria, nothing crazy. We just chit chatting, like just enjoying New York City.
Yeah.
She was like, so she hits my phone. She was like, yo, I want you to turn to MTV real quick. I'm about to be on TV. I was like, for real? So I turn on MTV, and all you hear is whose house? Run's house. So I'm like, oh, like you're Angela Simmons? I just knew it was Angela. I didn't ask her that last name. I didn't need to know her last name. Like, it was like the whole time.
You didn't know at all.
We were just kicking it, just being just as natural as possible. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeesh.
Wow.
That's crazy. I'm like,
y'all still talk? Y'all still cool?
We're still cool. I mean, of course, I'm not talking now, but like, if they would have seen me, if they would have seen me, they would know who I am.
That's ill.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's ill.
So that's just, and then like having like me being like the best basketball player at Fashion Institute of Technology, where like it was so crazy because we were sponsored, like it's so crazy seeing all these teams sponsored by New Balance now. We were sponsored by New Balance in 2005.
Right.
So
the beginning, the foundation.
Man, imagine the sneakers, the bullshits we were playing in. I'm talking about like,
oh man.
I'm talking about
this was before Kawhi.
We're going to these gyms. We're going to these gyms, right? We're going to these gyms. We're playing like, let's say Nassau. We play Nassau Community College, right? These dudes are in there cracking on our sneakers. They're like, yo, what the hell? What you got on your feet?
With that big end. With that big end.
Exactly.
What high tops are those with that big end?
Oh my gosh.
They be like, hold on. They be like, y'all at Fashion Institute of Technology, and that's the best thing y'all could come up with? Like, what's going on? And then next thing you know, we up 20.
Eesh.
Like going
it ain't about the shoes, player.
We up 20. Like, that'd have been a great like New Balance commercial, dark, like right there, because we ended up going up 20 on a lot of people. And just going to the national tournament for division, I think it was the Division 3 at the time, NJCAA for junior college, for Fashion Institute to be there. That was a big thing. That was a big thing because Coach Tejada got some real dogs to come play at that school. He got Lawrence Palmer. Everybody in New York know him as Na'u, the quickest first step I've ever seen. I mean, this kid, he made somebody fall off off a jab step. I've never seen this is like, mind you, like think about it. 05, somebody making somebody fall off a jab step.
On some mellow shit.
Like it was like this kid's first step was crazy, and he would go for like 30. Like he was a monster. We had a shooter, Equiano Stewart from the Bronx. He could light it up. He was just chucking it like it was bottoms up every time. And then we had Mario Bright, who was another guard from the Bronx. Handle was crazy. And all these dudes played high school at Wings Academy. Like, so they knew like the type of person Coach Lance Tejada was. Because that's where he started, was at Wings Academy. So
shout out to Coach Tejada. Shout out to Coach Tejada, man, for getting you together, man.
I mean, was before Coach Tejada went there, was they known for basketball?
FIT? No.
Yeah.
No, not that I know of. I don't think so.
So for you, it was like you was basically taking a risk. You put your career on his hand, like, yo, I'm riding with you. You know, wherever you go, I'm riding. Because for me, it's like I'm looking at it because you said fashion school. I'm like, fashion school. I mean, why would I go there? You know what I'm saying? But that's something that a lot of kids should like really pay attention to. And like when you have a coach that, you know, suits your game and you guys build a chemistry, it's like, and I mean, especially in the college ranks, they move around. It's like you have to make a decision. And you made a big decision, because it's like they're not known for basketball, but you put it on the coach and said, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna ride with you," and you guys had a good season, which is dope, man.
Yeah, it was really dope. Like we worked, like he had us work really hard, and he made me even work even harder because me being I was even though I wasn't the most talented as far as skill wise, I was probably one of the best players, and I was getting the most Division I looks. So he definitely made me work even harder, and he held me accountable for a lot of things that wasn't even my fault. Like somebody missing open shots, he'd be like, "What like Tone, what you doing? Like, what are you doing to help your teammate make that shot?" It's like he put everything on me. So definitely helped me become the basketball player that I really wanted to be.
So how did that New York basketball, share with the people how that New York basketball culture, how it's so different from anywhere else, but like how that ended up shaping your game?
There's so many dudes that played New York street ball that could have, should have, would have. You don't want to run into those dudes, because you got dudes that'll give you 40 off of like them beers. Like, you know, like
put the beer down. Let me see that rock, little man. Let me see the rock, little man. Like come on, bro. Just pass me my ball back.
It's like I played at Rucker Park, ended up playing for Don Diva magazine in the Rucker Park. This was like the league. They had a league at Rucker Park. The EBC Classic was like not just like America, like where they play, each state comes. They had a league that was throughout the summer as well. I played on that team. Played at Gun Hill. Gun Hill was oh my goodness, Gun Hill. There was so much talent. Like street names, you had a kid named Jesus Walks. Another big post player that I actually. I actually killed him. His name was Rhino. I don't know his real name, but his name was Rhino. But he was
Rhino
like
caught that work. On that day, he got it.
So they called this kid Jesus Walks, because he would like come up like straight from church and give like somebody like 40, 50 points. Like straight off the service. Straight off that good word. He's coming to give somebody buckets.
Blessed. Like, be blessed, bro. Be blessed. Hands on you.
We played against his team, and they had another big man on the team. So one of my guards went to the hole, and the big man punched. Well, actually, it might have been him who punched it. Jesus Walks punched the ball, and it came out to the perimeter. I caught it and went straight back in. And he thought he was gonna punch my ball. I jumped up and dumped it on him so hard. Shut down all of Gun Hill. Like everybody in Gun Hill was like New York. Like that's what I'm saying. New York culture basketball. Like
let's go home. Let's go home. Shut it down. Let's go home.
Shut the lights off. Let's go.
They're just out there just acting crazy. Like they're just out there acting crazy. And it was just like that was the one game. Another game after that, the second game, because they're trying to figure out a name for me. And they were like, they give everybody like, they called the dude on my team Akon, because he was locking people up on defense. Like there's like so I came down the middle, and there was another dude they called S. Carter, because he looked like Jay-Z or whatever. And I literally took off from like one step in front of the free throw line and just banged it on him. And, like, again, like the crowd just went crazy. Yeah. But like that, just that energy and that swag you gotta have to be out there, like it'll take you to a different level, because then that's when you know you can take somebody's heart, because you can tell like who's gonna fold like, under pressure. If you like really like put that pressure, you know who like how they're gonna fold. And like me leaving from going to New York and going to like Alcorn State in Mississippi, I don't know. I don't want to skip too far ahead, but
go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead, spit.
Me going to Alcorn State, like it was just like, okay, he's coming from up north, like so everybody's like they want to see like they believe everybody up north is hooping. They were like, all right, we're gonna see, we're gonna take his heart. Man, it would be situations where I'd be on the court and the dude that's guarding me, like it's about to be jump ball. We like picking out whose man is who has who. I would be like, yo, I got this bitch right here. Like just straight like that. And see and to see like their reaction.
Yeah.
Like some people be like you like if they look at you like a certain type of way, like, yo, this thing is crazy, you already know you're gonna be eating the rest of the night.
Right.
You already know, like, oh, this dude's
setting
like food.
Setting the tone.
And it's like the people that do like that say something back to you, you're like, okay, we're gonna be fighting the rest of the night. And at the end of the game, you guys like you have to go in the battle. Yeah. Like there's so much respect after the game. Because I first collegiate game I played in at Alcorn State was actually against Kevin Durant and University of Texas in the Coaches versus Cancer Classic. And I didn't have to guard Kevin Durant. Good thing I didn't have to guard Kevin Durant because he went off that night. But who I had to guard was Dexter Pittman. I don't know if you know who Dexter Pittman was. He was like 6'10", 320. And you'd have thought it was WWE all night. Like the ball goes up, me and this dude are wrestling, grabbing jerseys. I slammed him to the ground. He's trying to slam me to the ground. And like, that's what it was the whole night, because you have to be like that. If you're not gonna fight, you're just gonna get like dominated all the rest of the game. Right. And like after the game, he was just like, yo, you held your own. Because I'm like, I don't care who you are. Like I said, like we don't like coming from Roxbury, we don't care who nobody is. We don't care about your name. We don't care, like you gotta show me something.
Facts. So talk about like your full experience there at Alcorn, coming into like that type of program, that type of D1 program from, a new coaching staff, new teammates. How'd you acclimated to yourself? How did you make yourself become an asset for the team? And just share with everyone and all the young listeners, man, like what was your HBCU experience like?
HBCU experience, whew, my very first night on campus, Tim Jarvis, I'll never forget this. This dude was he was in the middle of campus with a shotgun in his left hand and a big ass gallon bottle of Parmesan in his right hand. And he's just chugging it, swinging his rifle around. I'm like, yo, where the fuck am I? Oh. Like, this is like Mississippi. So this is the country. Mm-hmm. And them country boys they ain't playing out there. I ain't even gonna hold you. So them country boys out there, they don't play out there. So they be on it. But my overall HBCU experience was dope. I mean, going to the football games, the band, like our band was dope. The Sound of Dynamite would be like one of the best bands in the SWAC. So just that experience with like just seeing like people like you, the education, and the Greek experience, like seeing all the sororities, fraternities out doing their thing. Like it was just a great experience. And just being in the country was just an eye opener in itself. Coming from the city, you see like so much going on, but like in the country, like it's slow out there. Like it's so slow. Like they always just chilling, doing whatever, drinking.
Different way of life.
It's just different way. It's different.
Yep.
It's different. So if you can't adapt to that, you'll go crazy because like you'll be trying to rip and run. There ain't too much going on. You just gotta chill out and just go with the flow.
Thanks.
But what I didn't know was the disparity between levels of Division One. I got there and looked at like, okay, I'm going to Division One school, so I expected it to be like every other Division One school, like like state of the art facility, get a bunch of gear, like 10 pairs of sneakers, everything. Like I was looking forward for that. They were like, man, you came to the wrong place for that. ESPN, I want to know if ESPN is really gonna like rerun the story, because it was ESPN followed us for a weekend, and they the story is about the athletic budget at Alcorn State compared to Ohio State. So for the entire Alcorn State budget, it was equivalent to one Ohio State basketball player.
So
just
one
basketball player.
Wow.
So the entire athletic department at Alcorn State to one Ohio State basketball player.
Yeesh.
Wow.
And it was just like, and again, like just playing at junior college, and like I said, like where you got to like really grind for it. It was like right back in that situation again. And it was just like, I could transfer again, but like I was like, nah, I'm just gonna finish. I'm gonna stick it out, and actually help mold me to become a better man, because I faced so many adversities, being so far away from like any other relative. Like my closest relative was in Atlanta, like my grandmother's and like aunts and stuff, but just really having to be out there on my own, and just having to figure life out like as it like as I go. Like it was just definitely molded me into.
What was the competition like in the SWAC?
Oh my goodness. At the time, my first year there, Jackson State was really good. They had Trey Johnson. Trey Johnson was like the leading scorer in the nation that year. Like not just the SWAC, like the whole NCAA.
Division One.
A whole Division One. He was the leading scorer. So playing against him was like it was dope, because there's no pro teams in Mississippi. No pro teams in Mississippi. So like you got your big games, you got Mississippi State versus Ole Miss. And the next game after that would be Alcorn State versus Jackson State. So Trey Johnson played at Jackson State. So it was just like this whole big thing, like going back and forth, like media. And the game time came, and it was just like, I forgot Maxie. Maxie was the big man at the time. Me and him were going at it. But at the time, because me and Alex Owumi played at Alcorn State as well. So Alcorn State, Alex was like D'ing them up, locking them up, like scoring on them. We hadn't beaten Jackson State by 20 that game, but like there was some real talent in the SWAC that year. Between Alabama State, where you had Mikel Gladness, who was like the leading shot blocker in the country. I had to go up against him. That dude was like, I ain't never seen nobody 7 feet with like almost an 8-foot wingspan. Like Mikel Gladness was like, he was blocking everything. Even the shots you didn't think he was gonna get, he got. Even if he was late, he was just so long. I'm trying to think who else at the time. There was another big, I forget the big that was at Arkansas Pine Bluff, but he was about 6'10", 6'11". Jarvis Gunter, the Gunter, that's what his name was. He was at Arkansas Pine Bluff, but there was a lot of players that you would be like, yo, you like even on my team, Delvin Thompson. Delvin Thompson was a 6'3" guard that had like a 50-inch vertical. Like
just athletically gifted, just beast.
Just athletically gifted. It was just so much talent in the SWAC that like, if you had like social media and like have these outlets that you have now that could just see everything, like you'd have been like it's crazy. And like we had, I think like all three the people I named end up going like playing in the NBA for a little bit out of the SWAC. I know Trey Johnson went to the Lakers for a little bit, and then Mikel Gladness was with the Miami Heat.
Let's talk about it. P, I know in previous episodes, man, I know you mentioned a couple guys who are starting now or have been in the last couple of years, starting now to choose HBCUs as their destinations for their time before they go to the league. So, and like, how do you feel about more players trying to make this movement towards HBCUs and really making HBCU sports the hub for us? I mean, like to us to get to the next level. How do you feel about it?
I mean, like, even though I hate to say this with a passion, but Jackson State, if you see what Deion Sanders is doing with Jackson State, he's trying to bring all the elements from a big time Division I to like an HBCU like Jackson State, where he's bringing like Terrell Owens to practice, and he's trying to like put the pressure on administration to get the. I would say Jackson State already had the better facilities in our conference, because Walter Payton went there, so they got the Walter Payton Center. Dope. I'm pretty sure it's like crazy now, but they had the better facilities. But like, if they can like find a way to where it amounts to dollars, and where they can like renovate these campuses or these athletic departments, or I would say go for it, because if like you got kids that's making money off their likeness, maybe like they go there and the company that they want to invest in like decides to like donate to the university, so something like that. Well, the facilities would definitely have to be upgraded for.
Right.
Like if you have because you got to think about it like this: a big time athlete that's going, probably is only going to be there 1 year. Right. But somebody that's going to be there 4 years, they would need to see like something like definitely some change. And as far as like I said, the disparity between the budgets that, like I said, because like I said, Alcorn State was equivalent to one Ohio State basketball player. So where they can fix that and make it more appeasing for players to go to and stay for longer periods of time, I think it's a dope experience, because everything outside of athletics, as far as like campus life, it's like everything you want and more.
All right. I mean, because I feel like nowadays, like you said before, you alluded how now we got social media, and now we got these kids with their likeness. So I feel like if a kid like for instance, right now we have Master P's son, he's going to HBCU. And he already has a following. I think he played in alongside the number one ranked player going into college this year, or freshman going into their college year. They was out in Minnesota. So he already has a likeness. Master P's his dad, so he already has a following. So I feel like all these kids nowadays, you should just, since you already have a following, that's what you're bringing into these HBCUs, like the Mikey Williams that's considering, going to HBCUs. What's his name? He just went to Don Maker's younger brother. He went to HBCU.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you're a top athlete, especially if you're in a 100 top recruits or whatever, you're bringing your own likeness. So it's like you just bring your game. So you don't really need to lean on these blue collar teams like the Dukes, the Kentucky, and all this other stuff. Because now it's like, okay, I'm bringing my own name. I don't need to go to your school because you're Duke. I can go to Acorn State and make my, bust some ass down there. Nice. You know what I mean? So it's like if you have a following, like, and you're in the top 100, create your own path.
You can go. You can literally, like, I tell kids like that. I tell the kids that I run into now, like everybody, like, and this is no offense to any AAU program that's in Boston or the Boston, Massachusetts area, but I'll say like because I'll go over the top two right now, BABC and Expressions. A lot of kids want to go play for them, but I'm like, if they got a whole bench full of killers, where's there room for you? Like, don't you want to make a name like killing them? Like that's what like it would be more impressive for a college coach. If I'm a college coach, right, and I see you killing like you like I don't even care if you lose by 50, but if you're putting up numbers, you're fundamentally sound, you're doing everything you need to do against those two teams, those two programs, I don't need to see anymore. You're playing against the top talent and you're holding your own. But a lot of kids rather they'd be like they feel like everybody's journey is the same. Like you got to pick your own lane. Like everybody, like it may work for like say the player A. Like if he went to BABC and went off and went to the NBA after that, that's his path. It's not going to work for you. It's not going to work the same way for you. Right. So like you said, you just got to create your own path, and that's pretty much what I did because at the time I wasn't good enough to play BABC, Metro Boston, whatever other AAU program that was there at the time. I played YABC. And that's because at the time, Coach Pete Washington and James Rivera saw something in me that a lot of people did. They would come to my games and like they'll be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be good. And so I'm in practice with like Joe Chapman, rest in peace, El Ray Taylor, Corey Boston, PJ Bernard, like these dudes are like I'm looking at these dudes like, yo, these dudes are nice. I'm like, I'm nowhere near like, and it took, like I said, it took a while for me to get that confidence to where I believe that I belong there. So like I said, I had to create my own path, doing something like nobody did. Like then go to junior college, work hard again, and finally got landed Division I scholarship.
We salute you. We salute you, bro, on your journey, man. But I definitely before we get out of here, I mean, I know we're gonna wrap up soon, but right now, for you right now as a coach, I know you're coaching the girls basketball team at O'Brien, and like you had experience the last couple of years coaching at Charlestown. From what you've seen from these young people, what is the culture of basketball, or like where's the state of high school basketball, or just basketball, like the culture of basketball here in the city right now? Like, what do you see us at, and like how can it improve?
I just wish we could keep more kids in the city. Because when I played in the Boston City League, we had 9 Division I players at the time, and that's a lot because now you barely have 1 or 2. And like you said, like creating your own lane. Like if you're good, they're gonna come find you. Like no matter what. Like if you're getting buckets and you're doing everything that you need to do, a coach is gonna find. And it's so much easier now because of social media. You can just like no matter where you are, somebody has their camera out, their phone out, like recording what you're doing on the court. Whether you dunk on somebody, you should cross somebody up, drop them, hit the tray ball over them. Like just being in like your own situation, like in the Boston City League, where I believe it's super competitive now. Like I haven't coached boys in a couple of years, but like as far as like what Tech Boston and Coach Johnny Williams doing over there, and how he got them boys going.
Shout out the coach. Like, shout out the coach.
Yeah, because you got a young boy like Lyron. Lyron went off to go to play at Southern Connecticut, and he's killing out there. You have Walt. I mean, they like what he. Because I played for Johnny. I played for Johnny for Killer Bees back in, this is like 15 and under Madahunt days. So like I know like he coaches the same way that he coached me. And that's what I wanted to be as a coach. Like I wanted to be the coach that I would want to play for. A coach is going to make you work hard, but also it's going to be like a ton of fun. Like as long as you working hard, we're gonna be best friends because like that's what I want. I want you to be the best player that you can be. I'm not going to yell at you like some crazy coach or like cuss you out. I'm just going to let you know what you did wrong and help you best. What's going to help you best to fix it for next time. Like I feel like the Phil Jackson philosophical like approach is like how I am. Like I'm looking at things and like during the game, and I'm like, okay, this is what we got to work on in practice, even though it's like middle of the game.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm not going to correct it right then and there because I don't want them to focus on their mistakes. I want them to focus on the next play.
Right.
So whatever it is, like I'm not even gonna bring it up right there. I'm just gonna mental note, and we're gonna go over into practice. We're gonna fix it.
Right. You was basically using the game to teach them life.
Exactly.
Perfect.
Exactly.
What you got for us, P?
Wow. No, man, it's just like your journey, bro. Like your journey is definitely a journey that I think a lot of kids should definitely emulate and look at, because it's like it's one of those journeys that just hearing your story, you never gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never gave up, and that's super dope. And I just want to ask you what kept you going? I mean, because it was an unconventional route. It was one of those routes that you could have easily said, F it. I just want to just give up. Like, what kept that fire on you know what I mean? In your belly, like what kept you?
No, go ahead.
Now, what kept you? I just want to know what kept you going, man? Because a lot of cats, when they don't see, because obviously a lot of us, we try to plan life. You know what I mean? And when shit goes left, we tend to give up. A lot of people tend to give up, but you didn't give up, and then you made it to your final destination. That was to play Division I basketball, because that's what a lot of hoopers want to do.
Yeah, when so many people told me that I couldn't do it. So for me, it was just like I want to prove a lot of people wrong. And in the process of just like me just maturing, and just like staying focused on what I really wanted to do, like I didn't have like my story, like my situation. So like so many like people like that played the game of basketball. Like I didn't grow up. I didn't have a father. My mother wasn't in my life at the time. I was raised by my grandmother. So it was just trying to change my situation. Like I knew like at the time my grandmother was older, so I knew she wasn't gonna be around forever. And I'm like, what's gonna be my plan if she go? Like, am I gonna just sit here and feel sorry for myself? Like what's gonna be my next step? Because if not, like I'll be like on the street doing God knows what. But just wanting my situation to change. Like I really wanted to be that person that nobody said I could be. I want to be that athlete that nobody I want to do the things that nobody said I can do, and all while doing that, I got an education and I graduated with a college degree.
Talk your shit, big dog. Talk your shit, big dog.
So that alone right there, like being like the second person in my family, other than my grandmother, to graduate from college, that motivated me to be the person I really wanted to be. Like just knowing I have an opportunity, even though I fucked up in high school with bad grades, this is like my second chance to really like focus and get this shit done, and while playing the game I love, playing basketball. So that right there in itself was enough to keep me going.
Big salute to you, big dog.
That's dope.
That's super dope. We give you all your flowers now, man. You got it out the mud,
Appreciate
man.
It.
Even though I'm saying, I think, I think like Pete said, man, like you didn't give up. But I think the biggest thing is, man, it's like
you on mute, D.
I think the biggest thing is you prove the haters wrong, but the bigger thing is you made them know your name.
Right.
Yeah.
People remember your name. And that's all we got. That's as men these days, that's pretty much all we got to stand on is our name. You made a name for yourself, you made a name for your family, and that means something.
And like I said, like traveling around the country, like, and just seeing different things, and like you see like small towns, and like you see people that are the man of their town and stuff like that. Like I talk to my girlfriend about this all the time, and she's a Hall of Famer in her own right. Like she's an amazing basketball player herself. But I'm like, yo, like people really know me in a top 5 major city. Like there's nowhere I can't go in Boston, nobody don't know Eggy. Like it's still like it's mind blowing to this day, and it's all because like of all the work I did playing ball.
Basketball, man. P, I know, I think we all can relate, man. I know, like, just in like basketball, baseball, football, when your name is respected amongst your peers, it feels different when you're in the city. It feels different. You can go places. It feels different.
And like I said at the beginning, like to get the gain of respect from killers like Dwayne Cox, Mike McGee, Anthony Davis. That's those 3 dudes right there at the top of their game. At the top of their prime were like unstoppable.
Lit.
Unstoppable. So like just to be able, I remember the first time Raheem Lamb looked at me, it was like, yo, you all right? And like shook my hand. I was like, word. I was like, word.
Big confidence. My man went home like, yo, I'm that guy right now. I'm that guy.
Jeez. That's dope, man. That's dope.
Man, speaking of killers, man, I know we want to transition real quick, man. Speaking of killers, man, Giannis, man. I mean, he's come back. You know what I mean? Middleton. You know what I mean? They came back. You know what I mean? They was down 0-2. I mean, have they figured it out? Now they have 3-2. Have they figured it out? Are they going to win this championship? Or is CP3 going to get his ring? I want to know what you think, big dog.
Listen, they might push it to a game 7 just for the TV views and the revenue, but I think this is over. I think Giannis and them figured it out. I think Chris Middleton has went from like being so streaky and like taking games off, and he's like really starting to put it back-to-back games. And if Chris Middleton's doing that, then like Holiday's having like bad games, that doesn't even matter because he's having like 35, 40 points a game. So like I think if Chris Middleton continues to produce at the level that he's producing at, you can might as well just give the rings to the Bucks.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my comments for my what the fuck moment, because that's my what the fuck moment of the week, man. I picked the Suns to win, and I picked the Suns to win the series 4-1. But yeah, man, that boy Giannis he's on one. He is on one.
Yeah, he's definitely
What's good with CP3, man? What's good with CP3, though? What's good with your man?
He's looking nasty out there, man. He's looking disgusting out there.
He's playing too many minutes. I think Monty's riding him too. Like, he's playing way too many minutes. It's like, yo, Cameron Payne balled out against the Clippers.
He's doing his thing.
Split the minutes and let him. I mean, just Drew cannot guard Cam. I mean, he can't guard Cam. Cam's too wild. Yeah, I mean, Cam. Oh, I just need Cam to play more minutes. Just
unorthodox,
right? You need
it. It really is,
and that sets everything else up. Like when you get on the break, and you can talk to this. Like you speak this. Like when you get on the break, now you got Crowder, Cam Johnson. Now you got 3-point shooters. I mean, and you got him and Book on the wing and coming down. Like, yo, like you got to create. You got to, like, in the game, you got to create mismatches. And what you think?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I think that the Suns have to go with what's going to work for them. Like the Bucks made adjustments. Now they got to make adjustments to the adjustments. And whether that's like playing less CP3, I think Cam Johnson needs to play a lot more. Johnson,
he does.
He does. Cam Johnson's been a problem since college. So I mean, like he's definitely starting to come into his own in the NBA.
Now, would you sit him? Would you sit Crowder down and start Johnson?
I probably wouldn't, because Crowder brings that toughness. He brings that toughness that you need. Even though like where he lacks in skill, where it comes like Cam Johnson, like he picks up in other things. He gets down and dirty, like he does all the dirty work.
Right.
So you need somebody like him to get this to set the tempo for the game.
Yeah, and I think like regardless of who's starting, man, I think they got a good rotation. Like in terms of like the two, like cats playing the 2-3. I mean, you got Bridges, Book, Cam, and you got Crowder. Like these guys are 3-point shooters. I think Crowder is just like I think he's just very intelligent. I think he fits well with CP3 and Book. But the thing is, like, yo, rotate these guys. These guys are playing cats don't sit on the bench way too long before they get in the game and trying to have an impact. Like you got to keep all if you got an 8-man bench or a 9-man bench, keep them all on the flow, keep them all fresh. You know what I mean? And then in certain situations, whether it's 5 minutes left in the quarter, you go with your starters, but you also keep CP3 fresh. You want him fresh in the fourth quarter. You want your general ready to go. That turnover he had the other night, he was exhausted.
Yeah,
he was burnt.
Yeah, and you can't put like the bench players that are coming in the position to where they got to produce and come back and like clip a 10-point deficit.
Exactly. And cats forget CP3 is coming off of COVID.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Come on, baby. Let that man rest up.
Drew's picking him up. Drew's picking up
a full
court. Yeah. He's like,
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely locked him.
So, if he wins, if Giannis wins now, going into next year, KD coming back healthy, LeBron coming back healthy, who's the alpha dog right now? Is it still KD? Or now KD. 2-time MVP, potential champion, and Giannis? Who's the big dog in the league right now?
KD still.
Well, you gotta pay respect to the champion. So I mean, like Giannis is the big dog. Like he won. If he wins the chip, then it's gonna be their job to knock him off. And I think like with those teams, with Brooklyn, I mean, with a bunch of roster changes they probably will have to do in the offseason for salary cap reasons. I think that should be like in a good situation. The Lakers, I don't know how true it is. Dame Lillard's saying that's one of the spots he wants to go.
Dame.
I don't know how they're gonna make that happen.
Dame. Now, if Giannis wins this one, are we gonna put him in the same room as KD and LeBron?
Not in terms of like the best, like skill set wise, but the best in the game right as of right now. You have to put him in that conversation. You have to.
Right now, yeah, you would have to put him in that conversation. But yeah, I don't think anybody right now in the league is in that LeBron talk in the conversation with LeBron James, but like Kevin Durant at the moment. Right. I think just them two alone are just in a stratosphere of their own.
Yeah.
Facts, man. Ant-Man, so this is one of the questions that we ask all our guests, man. Out of like, who is your greatest athlete of all time? Who's your GOAT? Michael Jordan.
My GOAT.
Kobe, Mike Tyson, Serena Williams, Tiger Woods, Derek Jeter, whoever. Who is your greatest athlete of all time, regardless of sport?
Regardless of sport, greatest athlete of all time. I would have to go with Iron Mike, man.
Ooh. That was the first time.
I gotta go.
You're the first guest. You're the first guest that said Mike Tyson. You're the first guest. Shout out to Mike.
You got to think about what Jordan and everybody else was doing at the age of 18. Like 18, this dude was wasn't he heavyweight champion of the world at 18?
20.
He got there at 20.
He was knocking cats out.
18.
Yeah.
I'm like 18. He was still
destroying the heavyweight.
He was washing grown men.
Wow.
Washing
them. And like where like team sports, there's so many like different intricate details that go into play. Like I would say, like when you talk about great athletes, I would go with like say a sport like tennis, golf, where it's just you're the determining factor of what's going to happen. Like you on your own. And Mike Tyson made sure he made sure he got everything he wanted. It was the scariest man alive? Yeah,
man.
Most dangerous.
You had heavyweights in the same division and scared of Mike Tyson. Like how you a professional boxer scared of another professional boxer? Like Mike was crazy.
Mike was no boxer. Yeah. Mike was a monster. Mike was a monster.
Oh man, he was something else.
What's the dude? He had fought at the club on the boxer he ran into at the club.
I forgot. I know who you're talking about. I watched a documentary on him. On Mike Tyson, they was just talking about him. That they got on the fist fight. There was like a fist. He knocked him out.
He knocked his eye, swelled his whole eye shut. Oh my goodness.
Mike was nothing nice, man. Mike was nothing nice.
And who is I need 5 from you, man. I'm gonna ask you 2 questions, man. Top 5. Who are the other 4 players that you would have loved to play with? Whether it's from any team that you played on, any era, college, AAU, high school, whatever. Who are your top 5 that you go on the wall with, and who are your top 5 NBA players of all time?
Oh, you talking about like just from Boston?
Boston, New York, wherever it took you, Alcorn, wherever. Who's your top 5 that you go on the wall with, that you're stepping on the court with?
I gotta go with my man Ricky Johns that played at Utah. Okay. Who's now the assistant coach at Iona. He's Rick Pitino's assistant right now. I gotta go with him probably play him at the. He could play 1 through 3 or 1 through 4, so you can put him anywhere. I'll go with him. I'll go with definitely Tony Lee. Definitely gotta have him. Tony Lee just brings that different type of toughness to
shout out to T Lee.
Anybody. I mean, you could be the softest dude in America, and Tony Lee make you feel like you're the toughest dude around. But he'll put that battery in your back.
Legend.
But definitely gonna have him. As far as shooters, I go with Tony Barrows. Tony Barrows definitely lit it up.
That's 4. You need 1 more.
That's 4.
That's 4, including you. That's 3, including you. Me? That's 4. So you need 1 more.
That's tough.
So are you putting yourself at the 5 or are you playing the 4?
I'll put myself at the 5. And I'll put I gotta go with Mike McGee, man. Go with Mike McGee.
Mike Mizzy.
Gotta go with Mike McGee.
Even
though he's from Dorchester. I know a lot of Roxbury people about to be on my neck in a minute about this, but he that dude was different, just a different animal. He's just a different animal.
Shout out to him, man. All right, before we get out of here, who's your top 5 greatest of all time?
Top 5 greatest of all times. No specific order, or just
no specific order. However you want. You put them on the court. They definitely win in the ring. Who's your 5?
All right, I got Shaq. Definitely got Shaq, Jordan, Kobe.
Definitely
Gotta go LeBron. I'd be disrespectful not to say LeBron. And
that's a big team right there.
Yeah, and probably would have to go. 1 more. Probably go with Magic.
Yeesh.
Wow, yeah, that's a big team.
They're going.
That team's going.
They're going.
But I mean, LeBron has to score. He has to score on that team.
Well,
No, we don't.
no, we don't.
I mean, you have Magic. Magic is gonna dish the ball out.
You got MJ and MJ, Shaq, and Kobe.
Yeah.
LeBron's playing defense and grabbing rebounds. That's what LeBron is doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's fast breaking.
Yeah, Magic come through the lane, defense collapse. He does one of them little behind the net passes, and LeBron comes through.
Yeah.
That's gonna be scary.
Yo, Ant-Man, we cover a lot of ground, man. We cover a lot of ground in your journey, man. We salute you, man.
I appreciate you having me.
Last but not least, man, I think this is probably, I mean, our biggest thing here on the podcast, man. What is your motivation that you want to leave to young athletes, coaches, trainers, whoever, man, out in the world right now?
If you have a dream and you have a vision of where you want to be, like, don't stop until you get there. You're gonna have to for you to get what you want, you have to go through hard work first.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go through the hard work, no matter what it is. You gotta put in that work. You gotta put in that time. You want to be a trainer. There's so many like intricate details you gotta read up on as far as like knowing everything about the body parts, movements. You take the time, study that. Coaching, the coaching never stops. You can always learn when it comes to coaching. Like, are you going to these coaching clinics? Are you interacting with other coaches? And definitely like basketball, young athletes, man. Like, you take care of your academics and you play ball, your academics is gonna take care of the rest. Like, that's more appeasing than your jump shot or what you can, like, how many dunk you have in the game, like your GPA. If somebody sees your GPA and then they see your performance on the court, then that's where it takes off from right there. Mm-hmm. So just make sure, whatever it is, like, athletes work hard in the classroom, coaches, make sure you put in that work to inspire the youth, continue to motivate the youth, and trainers, the same thing. You want to see the next generation of athletes to continue to motivate them as well.
Hey, what you got?
I'm gonna leave y'all with a quote from Maya Angelou. Nothing will work unless you do. So you got to put in the work. You definitely got to put in the work and never shortchanging yourself and just, putting 100% in everything that you do.
Facts. I saw the other day after they lost, after the Suns lost Game 3, man, they had a quote on ESPN from Coach Monty Williams, and I think Book said it. CP3 said it. He's like, Coach said, everything that you want is on the other side of hard.
Yeah, that's
So, I mean, it's not going to be easy. I mean, you got to make the adjustments. I mean, you got to, just like in the world of boxing, man, like, you got to be able to get hit. You're going to win the championship. You got to be able to get hit and hit back. So that's the biggest thing, man. So step in there with that mindset, like, yo, I might not be the best, I might not be, the most talked about, but I'm prepared and I got heart. And that's what I'm going to rock with, man. I think that's what you got to stand on, man, because you got to go get it. It's going to be hard. So I want to leave the people with that, man. P, what you got for your what the fuck moment?
My what the fuck moment is the Suns, man. I had them win 4-1. Them guys got me looking crazy. Giannis done woke up. Middleton's knocking down these shots. CP's turning the ball over left and right. Like, I don't know, man. Suns, we got to wake up. I thought it was Suns in 4s, whatever. That was the quote that they was running with. But yeah, that's my what the fuck moment, man. We're down 3-2, man. We got to wake up.
And man, it sounds like that door is closing fast, bro.
Man.
Listen,
yeah.
I'm still rolling with them. I'm still rolling with the Suns. CP at trust.
All good, man. And we salute you. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I mean, whatever you keep doing it, man. However we can support you in your journey and what you're doing with these young kids now, man. Let us know. We want to support all our athletes as much as possible, man. But I want everyone to go subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast YouTube channel. Follow us on IG at Talk Your Shit Sports Podcast. Wherever you listen to your podcast, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Really lock in with us, man. We got some special content tonight and coming forward, man. So, I mean, salute to you again, your family, man, all your students, man. It's lit. And we'll see y'all next week, y'all.
I appreciate you. Appreciate you having me.